Hello, I am here to do my check-in for day 23 of the Ting 2022 weight loss challenge. I just got done with my workout. Feel fucking amazing. I feel really good. Today's workout was a really strong workout. I was even able to bring some of the side plank stuff back in. So definitely shoulder is feeling a lot better. I felt so strong in the moves. I did go to bed earlier last night. I do think that helped a great deal. I did get to bed at 2 a.m. like I was planning. I felt much more well rested today. I felt more alert. I felt like my energy was better. And then I was just kind of like dropping in with my body today. Seeing as this final week, I really want to bring some emphasis to the nervous system and making sure that I'm giving my nervous system good support. And I realized that last night I had a really high protein, high fat dinner. That's what my body wanted. I just made up a bunch of broccoli slaw and I had a hamburger patty just on its own. I didn't want the buns that were available. I'm not into white bread. I don't like white bread like at all. I never have. Even as a little girl, I've always like turned my nose up at it. I don't like the texture. I don't like the flavor of it. So I just left that to the side. And I made an omelet. I had mozzarella cheese omelet. And that was like my dinner. And it really satisfied me, really held me over. And I realized, maybe I need to bump up the fat. So I made my post recovery workout, post workout recovery smoothie. And I'm all out of bananas. I noticed once again when I don't have my bananas to put in my smoothies, I'm a lot sore the next day. So I'm going to try to go out later today and get some bananas to tide me over and more peanut butter because I fly through the peanut butter. But today it has, my 2 scoops of protein powder in it, chocolate. I like to use Nature's Bounty. I think it's really well-rounded and it's affordable. It's got collagen in it. It's got prebiotics and probiotics in it. It's got fiber in it. It's well-rounded with the vitamins and minerals. And of course, it's got the good protein. Plus the flavor is really good. It doesn't have any artificial ingredients and they use stevia to sweeten. So that's all a big plus for me. And no, I don't get any kind of like kickback from, mentioning them at all. I just really like their protein powder a lot. It's really tasty. So it's got 2 scoops of that in there. Probably about, I would say, a cup of blueberries. Since I didn't have any bananas today. It's got my chilled black coffee, strong black coffee. And then I put in extra peanut butter today. Normally I do 2 tablespoons, but my body was like, no, I want it heavier on the peanut butter. And I have to say, I'm sorry, but it's so good. I'm like not wanting it to get warm as I do this check-in. And it feels like, my body's like, yes, please, more fat. So I'm going to pay attention to that. I'm going to boost up the fats. I already do really well on protein, okay? So I don't think that that's, the issue at all. I think it's definitely like my body's wanting more fat, and even the eggs I had last night, eggs get a really bad rap. And no, I don't do egg whites, okay? I'm a firm believer in whole foods. I think that we need certain fats in our diet. People are so afraid of fat, and it's actually something that's so essential for our health. We need saturated fats too. It's just about not going overboard with it, right? But what I'm feeling like my body's really wanting right now is just more mono unsaturated fats, that seems to be what's coming through. Like I'm really craving nuts, nut butters, coconut oil, yeah, things like that. So I think I'm going to bring more of that in this week too and just see what happens. I'm just curious. I like to do experiments like this. It's kind of silly, but I don't know. I think it's just because of my line of work, being an Ayurvedic practitioner. I like to put stuff into practice and like pay attention to my body, see how it feels, and then, try different things out. I think people are always really worried about the fat though, especially when they're working on building muscle and stuff, but they neglect to realize how important those fats actually are for fat burning. It really is true. So I think I'm going to be making up some ghee. I'm going to make up some ghee this week, and include that and, maybe just bump that up a little bit, just bump up the fats and see what happens because I am working out really hard. This is high intensity and I think that it will help, not only with satiation, but I think it might be the thing that just, gets my nervous system quelled and improves a lot of things for me. So that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, great workout today. It was lower body though. We did glutes and thighs and that was the main focus. She gave us a break from the abs today. So, like I've said before, lower body is my strong suit. I have a lot of lower body strength. So I breezed through it. It felt really good. But even stuff that had been challenging before, like my form is really improved. My endurance is really improved. I'm really thinking back to when I did this challenge the first day. And I remember just going through the warm up. This is how off kilter I had gotten. When I had this neurological episode, a couple months back, it really set me back. It really set me back. And I had to get like some extra rest and, my motor skills just weren't feeling the best, It's very frustrating to deal with a health condition like that. It really is. And I was really bummed because I felt like it made me kind of backslide in terms of my fitness that I had this episode, that this happened. But at the same time, it was just sort of like unavoidable, right? It's like, what can you do? I can't force myself through that. I really had to respect that my body needed to rest. That was the overwhelming thing coming through at that time was just rest, Shannon. So I did, I gave my body what it needed. And by the time I got to that first day, just the warm up was hard for me. I'm not going to lie, it was hard. And with all the oppositional movement, anybody out there who's ever dealt with any kind of like neurological issues understands what I'm talking about, because it's like your brain like sort of misfires the signals to your body. So things like oppositional movement and your balance and things like this can be really challenging. And she brings a lot of that in, but it's actually the medicine I need. And that really like hit me today as I was working out. I was like, wow, I remember when I started this, just the warm up like freaked me out. And the first workout was like so intense. I was like, oh my God, am I gonna be able to do this? I mean, this is just so beyond where I'm at right now. And like I had said at that time, it was really humbling. And I just felt like she so put me in check. But I want to bring this in because I think it's so important to remember, where you start is not the end all be all, you know? And even if you do struggle through it, okay? Even if you do have to modify things, even if you do have to take things easier or adjust them so they work with where your body is currently at, like, just do it, you know? Make that commitment to yourself to show up, you know, every day and just bring it the best that you can, you know? If you need a little extra rest, you need a little extra rest. You know, if there's a certain move you can't do, what move can you do that would work the same muscles that you can incorporate in place of that until you get stronger? And keep trying to do it, you know? Keep trying to do it and see, you know, have I improved? Have I gained more strength? There were several exercises that when I first started this, I could not do them. I couldn't. There was no way in hell I couldn't do it. And I just, every time those exercises would come up, you know, because some of the exercises repeat in this 4-week program, every time those exercises would come up, I would just try to do it again. And I used it as a way to sort of gauge my fitness level and where I was experiencing improvement. And now there's a whole bunch of those exercises that I can do that I was not able to. So I'm really, really grateful to Chloe Ting. I really am. I'm very appreciative of this offering because what she's offering the community is actually, it's a really huge offering. And she's so supportive and so encouraging and has such a body positivity approach, you know, that she makes you feel like, yeah, there's a place for me here too. Like I can do this too, even though I may not be, you know, at the top of my fitness level, you know, even though I may not look like, you know, Chloe Ting. I was going to say a bikini model, but, you know, even though I don't look like Chloe Ting, you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like my body still deserves care. And I think a lot of times with, you know, some of these fitness, you know, these fitness, why is influencers? The word was eluding me. Some of these fitness influencers, like, okay, it's like you got the great workouts and you're bringing a lot to the table and that's wonderful, but are you creating an environment that is really supportive, nurturing, and positive for everybody? And I really appreciate that Chloe Ting has created that space because it's hard to find. It's hard to find in the fitness industry. Yeah, I'm just been super impressed with it. I'm actually excited today. I've got like my whole plan laid out. I feel like I have a plan with my training moving forward. So I'm super stoked and I'm just going to like state it here. So I'm like solidifying it and holding myself accountable because I do think it's good to have a little straightening by fire, you know, have a plan, have a focus, you know, gives you a target, something to aim for. So as I'd said before, I'm going to finish up this week. So now I have, let's see, I have 4 more workouts to do. Yeah, 4 more workouts to do this week. And then I will have completed the challenge, which is so awesome. Okay. And then I'm going to take my week off of active rest. And during that time, I'm going to give myself a panchakarma. I'm just going to give myself some deep care, deep rest, move my body, you know, not stop moving my body, but, you know, doing more gentle forms of restorative exercise, like giving my body that opportunity to integrate all the hard work I've done with this challenge. And then when I come back to train after that week of active rest, I'm going to do this weight loss challenge again, but I'm going to add in some resistance. Some weights, some resistance bands, some ankle weights. I might get a kettlebell. I really love kettlebell training, so I might just go ahead and just, you know, take the plunge and invest in a couple kettlebells and, you know, bring that component in so it kind of up levels my training, you know, that progressive resistance concept we were talking about, you know, just increase the intensity, increase the challenge a bit. especially with the lower body stuff, because I feel like my body is ready for more challenge. So I'll be definitely bringing that in for round 2. And then I'll take another week of active rest. And after that, I'm going to do her summer shred challenge. And by the time that's done, it'll put me right at the summertime. I'll take my week of active rest. And then I'm going to do the hourglass challenge, take a week, and then I'm going to do the get peachy, the booty challenge. And then we'll see where I'm at, at that time. But I feel really good about that because I feel like I have everything mapped out, everything periodized, as far as my training, where my breaks are, what I'm going to be doing. And it's really going to allow me to just dive into it and stay very committed to the process and get mentally prepared, for each challenge and what I need to make the best of it. So I just feel really good about this. I feel really solid. I've been wanting to have some focus around, my training for a while now. And I've been kind of free flow with it, and it's great. It's great to be free flow, but it's also nice to have somebody kind of like work you, because I think sometimes, especially when you have a goal like I do, where I'm really looking to have a body transformation, okay? I'm really ready to release the rest of the weight that I'm carrying, and just move into that place of strength and vitality so that I kick off my 50s just feeling my best, looking my best, at my best. It's good to have somebody who can kind of like, come on now, just challenge your edge, because I think sometimes we can take it a little too easy on ourselves. And, if you really want a transformation in your life, it's not easy. There's definitely a real investment you need to make for sure. And especially as you're getting older like me, things change with your metabolism. You lose some of your muscle mass. That also, affects your metabolism. The more muscle you have, the higher your metabolic rate, even when you're at rest, and it does make a difference. Like, we don't have to get older and get all out of shape. It's not true, but you do have to make a commitment, and it does require some work, but it's interesting because the work doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like a struggle or a challenge to me like it used to in the past, back when I was really in my, disordered eating brain, many moons ago. Back then it was about punishment, but now my whole like concept around it is more like, I get to. And how cool is that? Like, I get to do this. Like, my body has the ability to move like this, and let's preserve that, and not only preserve it, but improve it. And maybe that's because I have dealt with this neurological issue. It's really made me appreciate the simple things about, being able to move freely, being able to be in a body and not experiencing physical pain, having, strong energy, and also an outlet. I mean, I just got to bring that in. Like I mentioned in my last video that I've moved a lot emotionally through this challenge, and the exercise has been just such a great channel for me with that, to have that outlet. Like, I can move these feelings, these stuck feelings, that I've been suppressing. I can move them through the movement and experience this beautiful release that just clears my internal space. So I feel amazing. I feel amazing. And I do see the differences in my body, and that's great. But honestly, it's not as important to me as how I'm feeling right now. And that's just like so huge for me. And I'm just going to own it. I'm proud of myself. I've come a long way, long way from where I used to be, and I'm just feeling so damn good about that. I'm just feeling so damn good about that. So I'm so pumped up because I'm following through. Like I'm doing this challenge. It's going to be completed. I set a goal and I nailed it, and I think that's something that people underestimate, the value of like following through with your goals, because as you do that, you build trust in yourself. And as you build trust in yourself, it boosts your self-esteem. It like raises your confidence level, and it actually opens your mind. It broadens your perspective, and you start thinking, what else might I be able to achieve that I didn't think that I would be able to achieve? So, if you've been thinking about, starting this challenge, but maybe you've had a lot of excuses, maybe you tell yourself, I'm too fat to do that challenge. It's not a challenge that's made for people with bigger bodies, or I'm too old, or I'm too tired, or I'm too busy, I'm too stressed, I'm too this, I'm too that. I'm here to tell you it's all bullshit. You can do it. You can do it, and you'll find it'll lower your stress. You'll find that giving yourself this time for your self-care, to put yourself first, it actually makes you manage the rest of your time so much better, that it brings balance into your life. If you're so busy, you don't have time to take care of yourself. Why do you want to maintain that status quo? Obviously, something needs to shift. Like, that ain't right. And if you want to be successful in life, if you want to bring the best to the table, you have to put yourself first. You do. You need to fill your cup first. And if you fill your cup, then you move through life from that place of fullness. And then when you give to others, when you extend yourself to others, you do from a place of fullness, not a place of depletion where you're given, half-assed version of yourself, or you're giving and you feel resentful because you're tired, you're stressed, you're worn out, you're overwhelmed, So if you're in this place and you're feeling like that, like, just do it. It's 4 weeks. It's 4 weeks. And you don't need to do it perfect. And it's okay if, the first few times that you do the workouts, you feel like, oh my gosh, this is impossible. It's okay. Just tell yourself you're going to do it anyway. Even if you have to do it and, you feel like a clumsy oaf, through the whole thing. I guarantee you'll start to see the changes. You'll experience the improvement. This was one of the best decisions I've made for myself, honestly. I'm so glad I did this. And I have to say, it's really nice to be around supportive energy and positive people in relation to this, and the right kind of communication around getting in shape instead of all this, body shaming crap. Like, I'm just so over all that, all right? I'm just so over all of that. So Chloe Ting, you fucking rock. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you. You're going to be my guide on this final leg of my journey. And I'm going to see it through. And I'm just going to keep telling everybody how wonderful you are, because I really do feel like what you've given to people just freely is like such a huge, huge gift. So deep appreciation to you, and deep appreciation to all of you who are showing up, witnessing me in this process, sharing your thoughts, commenting. I really appreciate it. I love connecting around stuff like this. I'm going to bring in more stuff on this channel that's about us connecting as a community and supporting each other. So, the readings are just one aspect of what I do. And I'm going to introduce you to some other layers and bring in some stuff that can really help us all pull together and live our best lives and have a whole lot of fun while we do it too. All right. So that's my check-in for day 23. Feeling really good. I'm going to finish this yummy smoothie, and then I'm going to take a shower and just enjoy winding down. Oh, and that's the other thing. Last night, I also did an ASMR session, and it was with Nefertiti ASMR. I just want to give a shout out to her. Oh my gosh, it was wonderful. She did my makeup. She did my makeup. She's on YouTube. Check her out. And she spoke some in French and some in English, and just everything about it was so perfect. It was so relaxing. I did feel like I was sitting with a friend and they were doing my makeup and just like taking care of me. And I love ASMR. I think it's fantastic, and the effect it has on my brain. I'm somebody who's very sensitive to sound. I'm clairaudient, so I get something out of like, that sound vibration. It's very healing for me. I love things like Tibetan bowls and, working with the different hertz, the hertz frequencies and all of that. It's tuning forks, all of that. I love all of that. Music, singing, vocalization, kirtan. It all really speaks to me, and maybe that's why I love ASMR so much. But especially if you're somebody who feels really overwhelmed and you feel like you're always the one caring for other people and extending yourself, like check out some ASMR where it might seem silly at first, but it really does make a difference. And, it is working with the neural pathways of the brain. All those hand motions, everything they do, it helps bring the brain into a certain calm, centered state. It can be very, very beneficial. So Nefertiti, ASMR, and the other one that I really like is Silver Hair. He's fabulous, okay? So check it out, and yeah, I think I'm going to do that again tonight. I might check out another one of hers because she's newly discovered for me. I had never done a session of hers before, and it was just so good, and I really did sleep well. She definitely helped me calm down. So that's going to be like my new nightly ritual, is to do either an ASMR session or like some kind of guided meditation, but something where I can just tune in on YouTube, relax, and receive, and that feels so good to me. So, okay, I've said enough. On to the next. I'll see you all tomorrow with my report on day 24. Have a good one.